Hey, Coach. So happy you found us on YouTube. Couple things. First of all, make sure you go subscribe and like. That's really important. Second thing is make sure that you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's the Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever you want. It's got a little bit of everything, but it's also got a community of like-minded coaches will help you become a better basketball coach. Go over and check it out. Let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to High School Hoops. Before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market. Mention High School Hoops, Coach Unplugged, me, and you'll get $400 off your next purchase, which seems like a great time to buy coming into spring. We'll get a lot of use. I love their customer service too. If it breaks down or anything like that, they are always there to help and serve. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's everything you need to be a better basketball coach. Trust me, you will use it. You will love it. It will be everything you think it should be. Yeah, go over and check it out. You will not be disappointed. All right, what's today's topic?
Let me see here. Ways to motivate players towards next year. So sorry that we couldn't, at this point you either won a state championship or your season's over. I mean, for most people in the United States, right, Coach?
Yeah, I think the key to postseason is break. Like, you got to give them a break after the season. You have to let them break from you, a break from basketball, a break from the pressures. I know they're going to still I know my guys are still going to be hooping a lot, but I just think they need a break from me and my voice. So our rule is post spring break is when we have our first meeting. So hopefully that's the beginning of April. So if we lose early March, they have 3 or 4 weeks. If it's late March, they get, 5 days kind of thing. So it really kind of depends on where and how our season ends. But I want them to have some sort of break from me, and also a break from, coming in and doing all those kind of things. I think that's just.
But a break for not only the players, but also for you. And I think last week we talked about the importance of making sure you're getting enough sleep so you can be the best coach during playoff time. Again, that self-help, that self-awareness, and self-care is really important towards you, so you can be the best coach for your players as well.
Right. And it also gives me time to figure out exactly what we want to do. Like, I'm always thinking, where do we want to do? What summer league do we? I mean, last year we didn't do anything because we were kind of basically directed not to for the most part. But where, what do I want to do come off season? What do I want to do for all of those things? I think that's important to kind of to figure out and to deep dive into. Yeah, I just think it's an important thing to kind of tackle.
So we have the time duration, right? But what do you think? What are things that motivate players towards next year?
Well, I think they're always motivated after the season. You know what I'm saying? They're always ready to go the next day. And part of that gap might be me trying to figure out who's really in and who's kind of in. You know what I'm saying? That's a big issue for me, is I just want to make sure that I know that they're really bought in. So it gives us not only time for me to figure out what's going on, but to see who's really bought in and who really wants to get in the gym in July when it's 110 degrees kind of thing.
Right. Do you think those one-to-one meetings that you have with players is a way to motivate them for next year?
It is. I think those exit interviews are super important. Because I think it can spell out. And what I'll talk about at my banquet too, I'll tell the parents that we're going to have exit interviews with all of them. And we're going to talk about strengths, and we're going to talk about weaknesses, and we're going to talk about things that went well and things that didn't go well, and how I can help them become the best basketball player that they want to become. And that's my goal. I just want them to be not only the best human being, but I want them to be the best basketball player.
So do you think that we could do a podcast? Let's say our next podcast could be how to give a successful exit interview at the end of the season.
Oh, I definitely think that could be.
I think we could even come up with a bunch of good questions or tools that you use and share that. I think that would be an awesome podcast.
I think we should do that. I think we should.
All right. So
yeah,
I think this is the last one we're going to record for our little break, right? But the next one after this will be exit interviews with your players.
I think that would be great. I think that'd be a good one.
Awesome.
And the thing is, just reiterating, keys to motivating is find out who's truly motivated, find out who really wants to be there. And the gap can help in that process, but also it can help in kind of just knowing what's going on with your team. But they have to want it, and you have to be willing to, you can only you can't make them drink the water. You can take them, you can walk the horse to water. You can't make them drink, kind of thing. So you have to, and I think that gap will really tell who's going to show, who's going to come in the morning, who's going to do those things that will make it a successful off season, I think. But I think that's great. I think we could talk exit interview next week, and we could talk some of those specifics too about, what to do in the off season. I think would be awesome.
And I just think you want to have things in place, right? They want to know that you're committed to watching them grow and get better next year. So I think when they can see that there's things in place, whether it's, we'll talk about at one point an off-season schedule, but there's skill development opportunities, and there's workout programs for them, and an opportunity to just for them to grow. I think that's very motivating as well. And again, I think in the end, one other thing I would say is that if you're consistently doing a great job with your players and building relationships with them and knowing that you care about them, I think that is motivation in itself.
Right.
You shouldn't have to do too much. It's like, I got to try to be this kid's best friend. Like, we have a horrible relationship. That should have never happened to begin with. Like, you should be already in a position as a good coach that your players are motivated because you built a solid relationship with them.
No, I think that's the key, to be honest with you. They got to know that you're going to have their back. They got to know that you're going to be there for them, and the motivation will come. I'm telling you, they'll be motivated. They don't want to let you down.
So keep building on those relationships, and then we'll talk about in specifics in the next few weeks. We have exit interviews, off-season schedule, all those type of things. But I think those are some good tidbits for this week.
I think so too.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like, and go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.